Well, many people's dream of starting their own business, but never quite know how to go about it. So Alon Reyes of Reyes Corp joins us this evening for a how-to guide on how to start a business with the do's and the don'ts. Alon, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thanks, Vicky.
It's January. People make New Year's resolutions, and I always wonder, since people break them anyway, if this is a good time to even be considering starting a business.
There's no good time or bad time to start a business. You just must make sure that your business has a compelling economic right to exist. So Michael Gerber, the author of The E-Myth Revisited, speaks about an entrepreneurial spasm. You know, you're upset with your boss, or you've just been fired and then you want to start a business. That's the wrong reason to start a business.
Okay, geez, there goes my idea. All right, so let's start with what to do and how to go about it. What's the first thing one should consider?
So if you understand that 96% of businesses will fail, are you one of the 4% who will actually push through all the tough times? Do you have that entrepreneurial character? So the first thing is to be really honest with yourself. And so what you should do is be honest with yourself and answer the question, am I really up for the long haul and for the late nights and for the hard slog? Then have I got a product, okay, that actually there's a market that wants to buy it? Very often when we start a business, we convince ourselves that there is a market. And who do we go and ask? Our friends and our family, and we do research from friends and family. All tell you, oh, it's a lovely thing, I'll definitely buy it. And then when you go and start your business and you approach them, they go, oh, you know, the budget isn't what it is.
So they are not they may not be your potential customers. Go look wider than that.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure that if you're going to do the research, do the right type of research up front. And some people are even of the view that you should not do no research at all, because they say only the courageous will start a business without the data.
Okay.
Then once you've started, once you've got a product, do you think there is a market for, is it differentiated enough from your competitors? So very often we say, yeah, we're going to provide personal service, or I'm very creative. These are the worst possible things to differentiate yourself on, is personal service, because it means that you're going to remain a small business. So
because you're going to have to pay that personal attention all the
time.
Yeah.
Because then what is, can you give personal service, and I might give a hug, you might give a kiss? What is personal service? Where does it where does it go? So personal service is really a bad thing to differentiate yourself. You should give a personal service, but that's not a differentiator. So make sure your differentiator is a real differentiator, not something you've made up in your head. All right.
So you've got the idea, you've got the market, and you know what makes you different.
Now can you sell it? Okay. Now can you sell it? Now entrepreneurs, there's two types. There's the ones who think they can sell but can't, and there's the ones who think they can't sell but really can. So make sure that you, if you think you can, that you go out and you sell, but you still hone your sales skills. If you think you can't, do not abdicate your sales to anyone else. You're the best person to sell.
Okay, but how do you go about creating that sales voice or that sales persona? And going out and actually selling your business.
So who would you rather buy from? The person who goes, hi, you want to buy this, with that sparkle on the tooth, or the person who speaks very passionately about their product or service? You buy from the person you trust. The entrepreneur who's created this product or service is the best person to be selling it. So it's about being authentic in that sale and understanding the process, the sales process, rather than trying to have a technique per se, you know, like how to fool the other person to buy your product. That's not what you're going for. You're going for authenticity. And entrepreneurs who are really passionate about their product or service come across more authentic and therefore have a higher likelihood of selling.
And if you need money to start, what do you do?
Well, you should have enough financial means. So if we all do those beautiful Excel spreadsheets, and it's going to break even in month 8, and I'm going to make lots and lots of money. All the business plans look exactly the same. Year 1, I need lots of money. Year 2, maybe I'm going to break even. In year 3, I'm going to make just so much money. Yeah. They all look the same, yet 96% of them fail. So what I say to entrepreneurs is if you think your break even is at month X, double that. Okay. And make sure you got enough money for double. If you think that your expenses are at X, at 25 or even 50% to that in terms of the expenses that you haven't even thought of that will arise. If you have got enough financial means for the double of what you think it is, that's really the good time to start.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks for your time today. Alan Reyes is with Race Corp. Now, luxury car maker Rolls-Royce has announced record sales for a fifth consecutive year, despite the turbulent global economy. For the first time ever, the British-based but German-owned brand sold over 4,000 cars. Our UK correspondent, Natalie Powell, took a ride with the company's chief executive, Torsten Muller-Otvos. She began by asking him about these latest results.
Yeah, definitely. 2014 was an outstanding year. We broke for the first time through the 4,000 units threshold. We have seen 12% plus compared to 2013, very much on the back of many regions in the world who really delivered great results for us.
How is Rolls-Royce doing in Africa, and where in particular is it doing well?
We are selling cars in Nigeria, many parts of Africa, but also of course in South Africa, and this is for us good and stable business. Particular Nigeria, they did a great job for us also over the last year.
For South Africa, now of course we've seen the rand fall, there are concerns over the economy. Does that impact you?
I mean, of course, we are not immune against any recessionary tendencies, and because it's all about consumer sentiments when you buy a Rolls-Royce. Many of our customers are entrepreneurs running their own businesses, though they would also potentially feel the pain if the economy would go down. For that reason, we are watching that carefully. If it happens, it happens. But due to the fact that we are globally very well balanced all over the world, I'm not so much worried about that, because you always see certain countries going down for some time, then coming back. And for that reason, you can always nicely balance certain downturns with upturns in other markets. So I'm not worried about stuff like that, as long as we don't see what I would call a bigger international recessionary tendency. I mean, South Africa is an important market for us, make no error, and for that reason we are working there together with a dealer down there. And yes, why not? The market might even show us more potential in future. Let's wait and see. And we are in constant talks also with our partners down there, to think about additional potentials and additional possibilities.
Well, the Mercedes-Benz design team is stepping on the accelerator of self-driving vehicles. The German car maker has revealed its futuristic F105 concept car at the annual Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Mercedes believes the market is almost ready for autonomous cars.
Imagine sitting back and watching your car drive you home after a long day. Well, that's what Mercedes-Benz believes the future holds. It's unveiled a new luxury concept car that takes its own wheel.
As I said 30 years ago, I was seeing these pictures and was dreaming of these kind of cars. Now to be part of the realization is fantastic, but I think we have a responsibility. We are running a company which has invented the car, so we should be the ones to prepare the reinvention of the car, and that's exactly what we are doing.
The self-driving sedan is complete with spacious cabin and lounge-like seating for four. Although it's a concept, the interior remains true to its Mercedes signature with walnut veneer trim, Naples leather, polished aluminium and glass, as well as soft blue LED lighting. The F015 concept monitors the road in a 360-degree radius using cameras, radar and ultrasonic sensors. The car maker expects it to hit the road in the near future.
Next decade, we have already significant pieces of that built in our cars in the showroom today, so they are autonomous up to 25 or 15 miles per hour.
Mercedes-Benz also introduced the self-driving concept truck last year. This, it says, will eventually help long-distance drivers in Europe.
Our daily question and answer feature, Need to Know, is up next. Stay with us.